Hey everyone and welcome. This is the first story of many in a campaign I'm currently running. It was the first session in the very first campaign I had ever run. I told the players in advance that they would be pigeonholed into this first quest so I could test out how dungeoning, monster compositions, and how NPCs worked for the group. Also note this is my players' first session, so I set the ground rules as you can do almost anything you want, provided you have the imagination to try it. Oh boy. The story starts. My best friend is a tiefling rogue, my sister is a dragonborn druid, my girlfriend is a forest gnome ranger, and I am a dragonborn paladin just to keep some of the heat off the party by tanking. We're all gathered in this tavern, but start in separate corners because we don't know each other yet. There's 8 hooded figures who are the typical surprise attack cultists, a halfling bartender, no guards anywhere in sight, of course, and a woman in a dark robe crying about her missing son, located dead center. The druid goes to talk to her and gets a bit of garbled information through the tears when suddenly the eavesdropping cultists attack and stab the mother. Oops! A fight breaks out between the would-be heroes and cultists. The druid kills one, the ranger also kills one, and the rogue pauses, thinks for 15 whole seconds, and says, "I'm gonna eat the bartender," with absolutely no provocation. We stare at him stupefied. Thinking quickly, I said, "You do understand you're getting attacked by cultists, right?" He nods. "Okay, then move towards him and make an attack roll. You can eat him if you can kill him." He uses his full movement speed to get past the cultists attacking the druid, takes an attack of opportunity, and then misses his attack on the bartender. The druid, offended that he didn't help, hits him with her line breath attack, in which he fails his dexterity save. The cultist nearest him then whacks him and he's down. The ranger also gets down, but players manage to win the fight without any DM trickery. They rest up and discover a lever behind the bar, which leads to a secret dungeon occupied with cultists and goblinoids. Hoo, more surprises. He proceeds to spend the next part of the adventure cutting off fingers of slain humanoids to keep for intimidation or writing purposes, I guess because blood is a great medium. He said his character is chaotic neutral, but I'm wondering if it should have been neutral evil. In another battle, he tries to brandish the severed fingers at the enemy as an intimidation tactic, but forgets he can't pass through my character, who is, of course, blocking the door. My character, a lawful good, gets a full face of bloody fingers while trying to fend off some rabid goblins. Talk about opportune timing. We get to a place in the dungeon where I, as DM, have set up a massive fight that would probably trigger a total party kill. There was also a locked door leading further into the dungeon's depths, upping the stakes just a little bit. The players opt to sneak through, not realizing that I have disadvantage on stealth rolls and a +0 to dexterity. Luckily, the enemies in the room are talking and there's a moderate amount of noise, so all we need is a DC 10 to just barely sneak past. The druid, rogue, and ranger all sneak past, no problem. The rogue looks me dead in the eyes and says, "Come on, Clanky, you can do it." I gulp and roll my first dice. 14. Everyone breathes a sigh of relief. So then I have to explain that I need to roll a second one and take the lower of the two. Panic faces resume, and I roll slowly. 10. Everyone cheers out of character. We sneak down the hallway to the next room, which contains 4 treasure chests. Immediately, the druid and ranger, both seasoned gamers, get very suspicious that there's a mimic. Druid hides in a corner while the rogue opens a chest to reveal not 1, not 2, but 4 mimics. The fight took almost an hour to resolve, partially because the players dealt little damage, but also the mimics kept missing. We eventually make it to small-time Big Bad, who's a wraith intent on creating a flesh golem with a young boy, Timmy's head. I started off with attacking the party with a wave of cultists, but then the wraith got involved. The party was doing pretty well until the wraith straight up killed the rogue with life drain. Bam, dead. We agreed that player deaths were setbacks as long as they weren't obliterated, and I'd let them just resurrect their characters with divine intervention at the hands of the god they had chosen for the cost of 25% of their net worth. He pops back up just in time for the dead cultist to get temporarily resurrected and some spectral fighters to appear. Players panic and focus down the wraith. We won! .jpg. Just kidding. .html. The flesh golem rises and shouts in a terrifying child's voice, "It's Timmy time!" and attacks the party. Sadly, the child's head on the aberration's body meant that he didn't attack very well, and the party slowly but surely killed him. The rogue then separates the head from the body and says, "Well, his mom can have it, right?" That ends the first story of the campaign. I'll post more soon, but in the meantime, feel free to share your tabletop RPG stories with me. I love to read about other people's experiences. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel as I'll be posting regularly. I'll see you guys next time.